Hey everybody, happy Thursday. Today is April 16th, 2026, and I'm doing this reading. See what Spirit World has to say to us today. Um, as always, use your own spiritual discernment. This is what message is given to me, might not be applied to you. If it doesn't, throw it back in the universe, okay? Don't try to force anything. But what came to me there, the first card that I pulled was the cross. And interesting because in Christianity, the cross means sacrifice, right? There's a sacrifice being made in order, in Christianity, Yahusha had to sacrifice himself, right, in order to save the world, right? And I don't think that was a literal thing. I think it was, to me, a metaphorically view, right? Something has to die in order for us, something else to be born, right? And the interesting thing about the metaphor here is that Yahusha had to go, according to Christianity, he had to go under the underground, like he had to die in order to be resurrected. And in our lives, a lot of things sometimes have to die in order for other things to resurrect. In order for us to have a new world, this old world has to end. But the message here is, especially with the new moon coming up in Aries tomorrow, what the message I'm getting is things need to be exposed. And when they get exposed, there's a horrifying, like, wait, all of this was living underneath my own eyes and I didn't see it, right? But what the message I'm getting is not just exposing things that need to end, but it's also exposing things within ourselves that needs to end. So it's not a message just for the things that are happening in the world, the horrific things that happen in the world, but it's also something that needs to, this is a time for us to reflect and think about what needs to end within ourselves. Belief system, ways of thinking, ways of looking at the world, all this idea that one way is the only way, that's another thing that is coming to me, also has to end. Like all this idea that something has to work only one particular way has to end. Okay? And what Spirit is saying to me, it is time to look within and say, what's some ideals that I'm carrying that I think is the only one? There was a woman that made a comment on my thing today saying that she doesn't believe in all the spiritual stuff, right? That Jesus Christ is our only Lord and Savior. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. That works too, babes. That works too. So whatever this idea that things have to be one particular way, that also has to end. This idea has to end. So what Spirit is saying is, everything's coming up to the surface, not just out here, but within ourselves too. What needs to end about you? What views are you still having? What shit that we're still holding on that needs to die? Like that shit should have been left back there a long time ago, because it's hindering us from moving forward. It's hindering us from moving forward. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in just a second. So the other card that I put was a death card, right? And the death card in tarot, it means two things. It means death and rebirth, right? Because you're dying to something and then you're transforming into something else. Everything that transforms dies. Everything needs transformation has to die, right? So when I pull that, I say, yep, that was the whole point of this message here. And I want to be sensitive to what's going on right now, because there's a lot of people that are dying. But I just want to say, I don't want their deaths to be in vain. Let us not allow their deaths to be in vain. Let their death awaken us to something that we have not had the courage to talk about. I'm seeing a lot of women posting about what's going on, but I'm not seeing men. The men, the people that define themselves as masculine, right? That define themselves as men. I'm not seeing them coming up talking about anything. So what's happening in the world is also exposing that, like that thought process. Like, before I say, let me think about what this is. Let me process it. Let me use my critical thinking on how it's going to land out into the world. Is there something that I'm going to say that might not sound right? Like we need to start asking those questions to ourselves. I ask those questions to myself, right? And is it going to land well, right? Is it going to sit well with, with the world? How is it going to land, right? So this is the death of a lot of things, and a lot of things are coming up to the surface, and it's showing us, like, what are you going to do? What you going to do about it? What is your role in it? How are you going to contribute to change? What is it that you're going to do? I get that it can be so overwhelming. I get overwhelmed too, but we have to ask the question, how do I move past it? What should I focus on? And this is not about focus on everything that's going on in the world. Pick one thing. I don't care what you pick, but choose something that you're going to be a voice for, right? Because there is a lot of things that are coming out the surface all at the same time. Like, think about when there's a flood, and like all of a sudden, when the flood settles, everything is up and like floated in the water. You don't know what to grab first. I remember when my grandmother's house got flooded, and she didn't know what to grab. She grabbed the baby, she grabbed this. There's so many things she needed to grab, but she needed to say, okay, what's my priority right now? My priority is getting the baby upstairs. And then whatever I can do come later, I can grow and grab it, right? So pick one thing and focus on that and contribute to that, okay? And the last card that I pulled, and this is and I love this card because it's the energy of oh gosh, he's the healer, but he also has wounds underneath him. My gosh, I can't believe Atoto, or I'm saying his name, but I'm gonna come back to you guys, okay? But it says stubbornness only brings unnecessary wars. We continue to want to hold on to things that no longer serve us, and it's causing this chaos that needs to end. Okay, Omolu. Okay, Omolu is the Orisha here. Okay, so sacrifices, people that are leaving this earth, that are going back home, but we cannot allow what they kind of agreed to go in vain. It's for us to wake up, to let some shit go, to look at a certain system. Shit is not working anymore. It's not a matter of being intolerable, but either accepting, like, I believe in this. Okay, great. I believe in this, and it's all great, and we can all learn from each other. Okay, and the dismantling of systematic ways of being, of thinking, right? All of that. And again, Omolu is the healer. He has wounds under his covering. But the wounds to remind us that here's where we were. Like, this is how this isn't changing, because he is the healer, but he has wounds. He is the healer, but he has wounds. We also carry a lot of things with us, but it doesn't mean that we cannot contribute, that we cannot do something, okay? So that's the message for today, you guys. I'll see you guys next time. I will be doing a reading for the new moon tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to be a video. It's going to be writing, most likely writing. But I will have a message for you guys, another message coming soon. Make sure you subscribe, you hit the follow button, the notification, so you get notified of my next video, okay? Sending you guys so much love.